Good morning from Saigon, Vietnam. Our time here in Saigon has been quite strange, but very eventful. Now, after a week of being here in the city, it's time for us to go back to the airport for an afternoon flight. Today, we are going to fly north in Vietnam to the beach city of Nha Trang. Let's go.
Let's go.
We're Ronnie and Jeremy, and we're digital nomads traveling around the world. We've spent the last 2 years living in Southeast Asia during a global pandemic. Now we're back on the move again on our quest to visit every country in the world. We're documenting our journey in hopes that it will inspire and help others to purchase their first plane ticket to a foreign destination. And we hope you'll come along with us for the ride. Have a good day. Okay, we are now at Saigon's domestic airport, SGN, here in the city. This airport is probably the closest airport we've ever seen in the city. There's really no separation whatsoever. And we're here and we're waiting for check-in. We've checked in online, but we're going to drop some luggage and then hopefully we can get our boarding passes and go through security and go to a airport lounge. Got past the herd of people in security. It's quite chaotic, but it did move pretty fast. Yeah, we got through pretty fast, and now we're on our way to the domestic lounge. Okay, we found a lounge here in the domestic terminal of the SGN airport in Saigon. We got some pork dishes and chicken dishes and some rice and different drinks and even some real chocolate lamingtons. And now we're just resting. We have about 3 hours in this lounge today before boarding time, and we are flying to Nha Trang. We did not really discuss this when we came into Vietnam because we were so tired, but I actually did need a visa to enter Vietnam. So Americans, plan ahead. You have to get a e-visa, which is very simple, very fast. You can do it on the government website. I think it's like $25 US. It's good for 30 days. Ronnie did not need a visa, but she does get 30 days also with her visa exemption because Indonesia and Vietnam are part of the ASEAN network of all the Asian countries that have an agreement. Also, while we're sitting here in the lounge for several hours, we will catch you up on our events. If you watched our last video, you know we had some drone troubles, and by troubles I mean it sank in the river. And you might have also noticed that we went to the DJI store here in Saigon, the only one that was reputable, and got the exact same drone replacement. So we're not without a drone. We have that again, and a bunch of extra things now because we have extra parts from 2 drones plus batteries and whatnot, so we're fully stocked on drone equipment. Just want to reflect here about our week in Saigon. If you've not been to Saigon, it's a very chaotic and hectic place, and as we review this week here in the city, I think what we'll remember, of course, is losing the drone, but also it was rainy season, it seemed like. We've been to many places so far that seem to be in rainy season, but locals will tell us it's not rainy season. But if it rains every day of the week, it's rainy season, and or at least to us. And so maybe it's, you know, climate change and yada yada yada, but rain every day is rainy enough for us. So that was also part of our trip here. We'll remember that, just as it has been pretty much every stop we've made in Southeast Asia in the last several months. We will also remember the craziness of Saigon. The motorbikes are everywhere. A lot of car traffic too, but it is a very densely populated city. And the reason I think it's the motorbike capital of the world is because there are just so many people with motorbikes. Imagine all the traffic that you get in another metropolitan city like New York or Seoul or Tokyo. Imagine if all those were motorbikes. That's how Saigon is. So I think we'll remember that. And food was good. We had good food here. Not only the American food at Eddie's, but we had good pho, we had some good banh mi's, we had good takeout food. We stopped at some cafes that were very good. I think overall, food-wise, we liked Vietnamese food. We had good spring rolls, fresh spring rolls and fried spring rolls. And like any major city, you really have a lot of options for good food. But just because there's a lot of options doesn't mean you shouldn't try all the Vietnamese food. There's a lot of Vietnamese food here that's also good, as you would expect in their largest city. In terms of cost of living, Saigon is affordable. What we experienced, we had an Airbnb here for the week, and in the center of town, in an old apartment building, but in a very good location, we paid less than $50 US per night for the Airbnb apartment. It was a studio with a kitchenette, a washing machine, and with a bathroom. It was all that we needed. There are some things that we wish were a little bit better in the Airbnb because the building was quite old, but it served our needs and we were comfortable enough all week. So you can stay in Saigon in a good location for less than $50 US a night. We did check on hotels before we came here, and hotels were quite expensive here. If you want to stay at a Marriott brand hotel or a Hilton brand hotel or anything branded like that, they were quite expensive. You could probably find local hotels for a much better deal, but again, you don't know what you're buying. Sometimes the photos are correct, sometimes they're not, so you're taking a risk there, as you are with Airbnbs. It's all a risk. You're booking it based on the photos. Other than that, food was relatively inexpensive. If you go out to a restaurant, expect to spend $20 for 2 people because they have a tax here that's at least 8% in most restaurants for service. If you're getting takeout though, you can probably cut that in half. You can probably do takeout for less than 10, especially if you're doing Vietnamese food, or if you're doing some kind of fast food place like McDonald's or something like that. You're definitely going to spend just probably $10 per meal for 2 people. And Grab. Of course, we love Grab and we use it everywhere in Southeast Asia. There is a bus system here in Saigon that you can use, but Grab is very affordable. You can go anywhere in the city for less than $5 a ride. Even to the airport from the center of the city is about $5 or $6. So Grab is very affordable and very reliable. Alright, we're back on the move again. Our domestic airport lounge time is finished. Now we're trying to find gate 5 so we can board our domestic flight on Vietnam Airlines. This is our first flight ever on Vietnam Airlines, We do have some international flights booked with their airline later in the year, but we thought this would be a good time to test out their domestic service. And today's domestic flight will take us to Nha Trang, which is north of Saigon, and we're going to be on the coast of Vietnam for our first experience in one of their beach cities. So here we go.
That's easy, on time.
So far, Vietnam
Airlines
is doing well. Everything's on time.
Yep.
We're actually boarding on time, and looks like our path to the airplane is going to be easy peasy. We are now on our Airbus A321. Everything looks smooth. We have an extra seat here. We have extra seats behind us. Overall, it's a pretty good flight.
Yep.
Vietnam Airlines is pretty professional. We enjoyed it. It was very comfortable, and I think the economy class seating is larger on Vietnam Airlines. The seats seemed a little bit wider. We had more leg room. They were comfortable enough. No TVs, but this was only a 40-minute flight. Yeah, we were comfortable. It made me excited about flying with Vietnam Airlines for international travel, which we already have booked for the upcoming months. And they have real business class on their domestic flights. So it encouraged us to maybe try business class for a domestic flight sometime in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Checking in Airbnb doesn't seem easy tonight. We already here waiting, maybe already 30 minutes waiting for the key. The host say we just saw the message, but they doesn't understand and they still don't give a key to us. So we still waiting here. The host not answer our message.
Not a smooth check-in. We've been waiting for about 25 or 30 minutes in the lobby. Airbnb host is not responding to our messages after she told me to message her if there was any problem checking in. Called her, she did not answer. I've now messaged Airbnb to help. Maybe they will call her. Security staff seems to have no idea where the key is for the apartment or how to get us upstairs into the apartment. They know the Airbnb host, that is confirmed, but they're reading our Airbnb messages. That's where we're at. You made it. Come on in. Alright, we finally checked into our Airbnb apartment here in Nha Trang, Vietnam. Been a very interesting travel day. Everything with Vietnam Airlines was superb. We really enjoyed our economy flight with them, and that's great because we have some more flights booked with Vietnam Airlines. But some of the footage we didn't show you because there was a kind of a mess at the airport trying to get a Grab taxi to come to our apartment. We didn't get any of that footage because it was dark. We were wandering around a parking lot in the dark, But we finally did get a Grab taxi and got to the apartment building, but then you saw that we had quite a time checking in. We're going to show you the Airbnb apartment first, and then we'll explain what happened on our way here to the apartment. But first, as you see, I am in the kitchen of our apartment. We have some mood lighting in the apartment. We have a fully equipped kitchen as far as appliances go. Washing machine, nice stainless steel sink. We have a electric range, lots of cabinetry, and a refrigerator by the doorway. We've already gotten settled a bit here in the apartment, figured out what is functional and what we're going to use. This sofa is very nice right here by the windows that look out in this direction of the apartment. You can also have a better view of our kitchen. You can see it's quite spacious, has a rectangle layout as you come in. There's a bathroom here, and we already have a fairly large aircon unit which we've already turned on and tried. It works very well. We also have this very unique window seat that acts as a functional lounging area, but also as a working area. There's a portable desk that we can move around and use on this window seat. We have a working desk here that we may take advantage of, but these window seats look so comfortable that I imagine we'll spend most of our time here this week. In this corner, we have a large smart TV, which is probably, I would say, 50 inches. It's hung on the wall in a perfect swivel angle where we can swivel it around the room. And directly beside the window seat area, we have a queen bed, which is fully equipped with nice linens that look very comfortable and cozy. Some of the most important things for us when we're booking Airbnbs is, of course, workspace and electric plugs. We have plenty of plugs throughout this space, and a very smart portable desk that works well as it can slide under this window seat and you can use it at different places on the window seat. We've also noticed these two large windows, which in the daytime I imagine will give us great sunrises and sunsets, because we have one angle of the building here and we're in a corner apartment, so we have another angle on this side. We've also noticed and used the aircon, which I mentioned before, but we also have a swivel rotating fan here, which we've already tried out. It's very powerful and it rotates 360 degrees, which should be great for airflow in the room. Also, overall, we just noticed there's a lot of space in this apartment, and the photos on Airbnb really don't give it as much credit when trying to discern how much space there is. We can walk around in this apartment very comfortably. It's enough room for two people for sure. Now that we've gotten checked into our apartment and washed off our faces a bit after the eventful arrival here in Nha Trang, I'll explain what happened. We arrived at the Nha Trang airport, which I didn't properly research and realize it's about 45 minutes or an hour outside of town. It's not exactly the local Nha Trang airport. It's just the closest one to Nha Trang City. When we arrived there, the Grab app that we always use in Southeast Asia does work. However, the Grab driver immediately responded and said he could not come in and pick us up at the door of the airport because the local taxi companies had paid security to keep Grab outside the airport. This is still a problem in many cities in the world, that local taxi companies are still fighting e-ride hailing apps. And I understand the problem there. It's taking away jobs from local taxi companies, but the Grab companies and the online e-hailing taxi apps really do a lot of good things for travelers, because we always know what the rate's going to be, and we don't have any problems with local taxi drivers taking advantage of tourists. So our driver informed us that we needed to walk outside the gate area of the airport. We were trying to do that, and of course we were rolling along our already beaten up luggage bags in the process of doing that. So we didn't get any footage from that because we were trying to chase our Grab driver around the area. We didn't know exactly where he was at. We were trying to find the right exit, and he was supposed to be waiting for us outside the exit. We went outside the wrong exit. He had to drive around and find us. It was a big mess, so you can understand why we did not get much recording done. We were trying to navigate this parking lot at the airport while also trying to find someone who did not speak English, while also trying to communicate on the Grab app and text and translate. It was quite an ordeal, and it's quite humid in Nha Trang, so that's why by the time that we got to the apartment building here, you saw that we were soaking wet with our own sweat. That was part one of our arrival here in Nha Trang. And then when we got to the apartment building, our Airbnb host had given us instructions for checking in with the security desk. They had no idea who we were. We showed them the messages with our Airbnb host. They had no idea who we were. We were trying to communicate with Google Translate. How do we get up to our apartment? Our host just said that we need to show them their messages and they will key card us up the elevator and we will get to our apartment that way. They had no idea that she had left the apartment door open, so they were confused. They were trying to contact her, yada yada yada. I was trying to contact her via Airbnb. She was not answering because she was at dinner. So I understand, big mess. And it took us about 30 or 45 minutes to get into the apartment, but just because we were waiting and she was at dinner and so she could not help us. They had no idea who we were, so they couldn't help us. Then she finally did respond 40 minutes later, I guess, after we had initially contacted her. She had finished her dinner and realized what the problem was and blah, blah, blah. She volunteered to make up for her negligence by buying us breakfast, and so we should have breakfast delivered tomorrow. Thanks for that, we really appreciate it, but no big deal. We finally did get into the apartment. It was a very simple mistake. The apartment door was open. They just needed to key card us up to this level, and then we could have just walked into the apartment, which we eventually did. And now here we are. All right, we are gonna venture outside and try to get some food, but the rain has started. Thunderstorms have started. So we are waiting on our Grab car to back down the alley driveway here right beside the apartment building, which is connected to a hotel. So that's the confusion, I guess. We're just waiting and maybe we'll have a ride soon to get through this rainstorm. All right, our apartment building is beside a hotel, so there's gonna be confusion, I think, the entire time we're here with the Grab cars. They go to the hotel entrance, so we're gonna have to walk up this alleyway to the front desk and meet our Grab car there. I don't think he's gonna be able to find the small alley to get to the apartment building entrance. It's not too far of a walk, and then hopefully we can find him and get in the car soon and find something to eat tonight. We found the Grab driver. Now we're just gonna go around the block, I think, to find this restaurant, which appears to be attached to the Sheraton Hotel here in Nha Trang. And we've been welcomed by another rainstorm, as always. Seems like we're chasing early rainy season in Southeast Asia ever since we came back from Turkey. So we should be at the restaurant soon, and maybe the storm will fade while we're eating. We're at Pizza for Peas, which is the hotel restaurant, I believe, for the Sheraton Marriott Hotel here in Nha Trang. It's got good ambiance, very busy. A lot of people here inside and outside. And the rain is getting a little bit weaker, but the roads are very wet. We've ordered some pastas here. We're gonna have a basil pasta and a salmon cream pasta with a couple of soft drinks to try to recharge ourselves and recover from the eventful arrival here in Nha Trang, and maybe we can flip this around and have a good night. Salmon cream pasta here. I don't know if you can see all that, but that yummy, delicious salmon and cream pasta with some cracked black pepper and some freshly grated Parmesan cheese. And Ronnie has the basil pasta with clams. Very good. And that freshly grated Parmesan cheese is fresh. And the cracked black pepper is very strong, very tasty. I think we're gonna have a good meal here, and we're gonna recover quite well from our travel day from Saigon. And yeah, we'll check back in with you after we stuff our faces here, let you know how full we are. All right, we just finished our dinner at Pizza for Peas. Can't believe that place. It's 466,000 Vietnamese dong. It's like $19.50. Pretty normal for dinner. We had 2 pastas and 2 soft drinks, and our bellies are full. And now we're gonna try to cross the street here and not get killed by a motorbike. It's not nearly as bad as Saigon, what we have deduced so far, but there are still motorbikes running rampant everywhere here in the city of Nha Trang. But we are energized, and the rain has stopped, so I think we'll try to find ourselves back down the street, walk off some of these calories, and get back to our apartment building to call it a night. Okay, we are back at our apartment here in Nha Trang. We are ready to call it a day. We just wanted to give a shout out to all of our viewers and people that click on our videos and watch them and leave comments. We really appreciate that. And we also want to tell you that now you can become a member of our channel. So if you want to support our work even more, go on over to our channel and check out our membership options. We have many perks there for people that want to support us on the regular every month. We would really appreciate that. It goes a long way to supporting our work and to keep us going on our travels around the world. And as always, if you enjoyed this travel video from Saigon, Vietnam to Nha Trang on the coast here in Vietnam, go ahead and smash that like button and share this video with all your friends. We really appreciate that. It really helps us with the YouTube algorithm, as all of you know. And as always, if you enjoy moving around the globe, going wherever we go, we hope you will subscribe to our channel and check that notification bell so you know when our new videos are uploaded each week. But remember, you don't have to be a Kentuckian to travel with us. You just gotta have fun. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep on keeping on. Cheers.